Okay, I got the following question from a student. Please ignore the background noise. My dryer is going. But here, they were having a little bit of trouble setting up the system. So I'm going to set up one of the equations for you, and then you can follow the steps given to set up the other two. Here, they want us to find the quadratic function that is in the following format of y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, and whose graph is passing through these points. So, since the graph is passing through these points, we have here an x and a y coordinate, and x and a y coordinate for the second point, and x and a y piece for the third point. Do you guys agree? So with that information that is given, let's look at the quadratic function equation that they've given us. They want us to find the function that is in this format. Well, notice, if you will, please, that we have x's and y's in this format that they've given us. I'm sorry, I left my B off. So if you would take the following approach, so let's look at the first ordered pair given here of 222. Let's look at that. I'm sorry, my stylus is not working very well. So since this is our ordered pair that they gave us, and this is our equation, right? Let's plug our x's and y's in here. Because in order to determine what the function is, we're actually going to be solving for the unknowns of A, B, and C. Okay? A, B, and C are the unknowns that we want to determine from our system of equations when we solve it. So if we plug in values for x and y, we'll have three variables that are left. And I think what freaked you out a little bit, I think, may be the fact that you saw 5 variables, and you're like, well, I only need 3, right? So, and you're right, you only need 3 for this equation, because there's no way that we're going to set up 5 equations with the information given. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in 22. Whoops, let me get my pen back. We're going to plug in 22 here for y. And everywhere we see an x, we're going to plug in a 2. So this is an x squared, so we'll plug in a 2 square. I'm going to move the x to the front, you guys. 2 squared times a, right, plus, well, we have b times x, and again, x is 2. So we'll have, sorry, that's a 2. I promise that's a 2. I know it doesn't look like it. So we'll have 2 times b plus c. So we can simplify this first equation. I'm calling this my equation A. Or you can call it something else if you think there's too many variables floating around. But we're going to have, once we simplify, we're going to have 22 equals 4a plus 2b plus c. So there is our first equation. You will follow that same process with the second ordered pair given and with the third ordered pair given. Once you have done that, you will have equations B and C, and you will have your system to solve. And again, what you will be solving for are your unknowns of A, B, and C. So once you solve and you have those values of A, B, and C, whatever you find A, B, and C to be, you're then going to plug A, B, and C that you find back into, well, white's probably the wrong color to use, but you're going to plug that back into this, everywhere you see an A, B, and C. So your equation would say something like y equals whatever you found your A to be. Say you found A to be 3. Then y would equal 3x squared plus whatever your B was times x plus c. Okay, so what your answer will be written as follows. Y equals some number, right, times x squared plus some number times x plus the C you found. So that's some number, right? So again, this would be your A value, this will be your B value, and this will be your C value. But you have to find those first before you can, you have to find A, B, and C through the system that you're going to set up before you can answer the question, okay? So it leads you to answering your question. So I hope this information has helped you. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me. Thanks and have a great evening.